Hi folks, Anders here, and this is a bit of a different video. It's a restoration video. I'm going to go into a story. So what I'm planning to do is restore this base. So this was mine, my original base, back in, I bought it when I was about 13, so that's around, I'm 43 now, so 30 years ago. Even then it was about 10 years old. It's about a 40-year-old base. It's a Westone Thunder 1A. I'll show you here. And it's been through a bit. I mean, this was, you know, teenager Andy. Generally, you know, messing about, being in a few different bands. I didn't really take care of it. I tried to sand it down at one point, knowing absolutely nothing, and yeah, kind of made a mess of it. And then when I was about 2021, I started to have a family, and I gave the bass away to a friend of mine called Rob, and I think we swapped it for a PlayStation and some games at the time. So yeah, and then a few years ago he was moving to Hong Kong, I believe, and like dropped me a message through Facebook and said, "Hey, you know, remember your old bass?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Do you want it back?" I was like, "Yeah." And I've had it for a couple of years since. Plays fine, plays wonderful, but it is in need of a bit of TLC. See. So the plan for this video, it might be a series, I think it probably will, is going to be restoring it. Now, disclaimer, I'm not a guitar restoration expert. I know a fair bit about restoration, never done guitars before. So if any purists are on here and see this video, I'm sorry, please don't judge. Feedback and comments is welcome, but I'm going to try and do this to the best of my ability. So yeah, so the plan for today is just to strip it back down to its elements, take the strings off, take all the knobs off, take the neck off, and see how far we get with it. So yes, I'm going to pause for a minute. I'll switch the camera around to the front facing one, and yeah, I'm really warm today. I'm in the shed, the workshop, and the sun's beating down on it, so it is quite warm. So yeah, but yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I will flip the camera and we'll start to strip it down and see how far we get today. Right, see you in a second. Okay, so here's a bit more detail on the actual bass. It's a Westone Thunder 1A Jazz, left-handed because I'm a lefty. On the head here there is some little damage, but the actual pegs are all good. So we go down the neck. The neck is actually really straight, and the neck itself I'm not really going to touch. I'm just going to kind of leave it as is because it's in pretty decent condition. As we move down to the actual body, apologies for my shadow, you can see there is some pretty gnarly dings over there. The brass on it is quite roached. That is very loose. That one's alright. I do have the spare knob for it there. Touch switches are all alright, and the actual plug's fine. But yeah, the pickups themselves, it's active pickups on it, so it's probably going to need a little bit of soldering on it. There's the serial number for it. So yeah, underneath that compartment there is actually a 9-volt battery. So yeah, so you can see there, Westone product, if you can, made in Japan. But yeah, it's seen better days, and I want to give it a bit of TLC. You can see it's quite dirty and gnarly on the back as well. It's quite, you know, on there. But yeah, so that's the plan. Is we are going to see if we can restore this to its former glory. So it'll be sanding it down to a really nice smooth mirror finish, and then we'll lacquer coat it with some lacquer spray and then reassemble it all, and hopefully, yeah, there is a bit of a buzz on it when I use it through the amp, but that could just be through corrosion or bad contacts in the back. So yeah, right. But yeah, I mean, apart from that, you know, it is, you know, there's a bit of grime on it there, but the neck's straight. You know, it is quite decent. It's got a lovely jazzy sound to it. So yeah. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is just take the strings off. I have got a new set of strings, I will replace them, but I might keep these anyway because I think these are like possibly the original strings that I had on it many years ago. So let's turn the camera this way. And it's just a matter of just screw in and off the pegs. Okay, so let your strings off is literally just slide. Again, I have got new strings anyway, but we'll possibly keep these ones just for spares or something, and for posterity. Pretty straightforward. That's the easy bit. Just wrap them up there. So I've got some tubs to keep everything in. So when it's all going back together, I know what's what. And there we are. Right, so next I think we'll tackle the rear of it. First, let's see if I can pull the nuts off. There's one, that one I think is Allen keyed. It's not, but it's kind of jammed in. That is one that is very loose. So. Proper stuck on. Right, so we got two of the knobs. Like I say, I've got the other one somewhere anyway. And then we can just take off the nuts. Hopefully parts of this are still relatively still available, so when it comes to putting it all back together, hopefully it should be able to fall in parts. So all of these are all chrome plated, so I will just polish them up, I think. Excellent. Right, onto that guy there. Screwdriver. Just a bit. Thankfully, all of the screws are threaded. Okay, and there we are. You can see, so there's a ground there, but you can see the original colour of it. It's quite different, but the back of that is very, very... Put that into a drawer. We'll pop all of the nuts and bolts that we've fetched off. So yeah, as you can see there, that would have been the original colour, which is what we want to try and get back to. Okay, so that's all we need on the front. So on the back, that should just pop out. Good. So you can see that it takes 2 9 batteries. They actually look all right. So you can get that all the electricals. That makes a light. Okay. Right. So whoops. So there's a little circuit board head there, and then lots of stuff in there. And it does look like at some point it has been jiggered. So just need a small screwdriver, and then we can take those out. And what we'll do, rather than having a little point like that, is we will actually solder it, I think. I've just seen a little nut in there. Let's just put these screws separately for a second. Gosh, that one is quite corroded in there actually. Okay, so we can pull out those. That's all set. So, right. So, let's just take off that plate there so we can move the main plate out of the way. There we go. Right, so there's the back plate off. I'll put those bolts in the drawer with it. So that's the ground that we've just pulled out. So we do have quite a few going to the yeah, they will be going to the pickups. So let's just pop it all back in for a second. And take the picks out. Those are very long screws. So what I'll do is mark them with a pencil. So T, B, so we know which is top and which is bottom. Okay. Yeah, because they are similar ticks actually, but yeah, they are. Wow. Oh, it's because there's a plate on the bottom. Okay, so for sake of ease, all I am going to do is, so I know which wires are which to start at the back, is we'll give it plenty of space and we'll just snip. But I can resolder and shrink wrap, so that's fine. Okay, so I have the picks. Drop the screws. So that's smart. And then we'll put the picks into the drawer so we know what is going where. I'll make sure I don't lose any other screws. So flip back over now. And there we go, whole mechanism out. You can see there is quite a lot of corrosion and water damage on it, so like I say, it does still work. Okay. And well, if you can see in there properly, which you probably can't, but I wrote bollocks. Excellent. Right. So that's all the electricals out. So next stage is we're going to take off the neck. And hopefully this should be relatively straightforward. There's the plate, and again you can see the original colour. So there we go, there's the neck. All done. Which again, I'm not going to do much to the neck bar from. I will take the pegs off and clean them. Anyway. But for the neck, it just needs cosmetically cleaning and stuff like that. But you can go and you can see the difference in colour there to there. But the neck, I'm just going to, I'll just take the pegs off and we'll clean it up. Right, so here's the body. Well, then again, you can see the colour, the original colour of it. It's got another part number, serial number there on the back. Again, if you can see that, you can see the original colour of it behind. Oh, one final thing. I'm just going to take off the straps, supports. And that screw is rusty. Wow. Okay, so we've got that, the original bits of felt which we will reuse. We've got the 4 screws which hold the neck in place, and we've got the original plate which just needs a good clean and polish really. So, I'll show you where we're at so far. So I have put all of the bits into these drawers. So we've got strings, we have got the exterior bits, we've got the plates, we've got the pickups, we've got the main screws, and we've got all of that. And the actual knobs as well. And it's just started raining, so I'm glad I'm indoors. Okay, right, so I'm going to stop this video right here. So I figure I've done about 25 minutes of footage on that, so I think that will be enough for this video. So yeah, I will do this as a series. So this will be part 1 of the Westone Thunder 1.8 restoration. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in part 2.